Hello students, in this lecture I am going to explain the retrosynthesis of Friedel-Crafts acylation and Friedel-Crafts alkylation. Now this is my 7th lecture and I have already drawn a structure of 4-methoxyacetophenone. So this is your target molecule. Now whenever we draw a target molecule, we always focus on the most important thing, that is read the molecule. So read the molecule first means we have to observe the molecule. So these are the observations of the molecule, that the presence of COCH3, presence of methoxy group and the presence of a phenyl ring in the molecule. Now let us start the retrosynthesis of the 4-methoxyacetophenone. Now dear students, as we know that whenever we have a retrosynthesis, we have to follow two steps, and these two steps are nothing but the analysis and the synthesis of the target molecule. Now in the analysis, again we have to carry out the disconnection approach, which is of course a imaginary thing. We have to imagine the fragments, and this is a imaginary approach. And the second thing is the functional group interconversion. Functional group interconversion, which is also called as FGI. And this is also called as a real approach. This is an imaginary approach and this is a real approach. All right. Now let us start the analysis. So again, I am drawing a structure of 4-methoxyacetophenone. So this is a 4-methoxyacetophenone over here. Let us start the retrosynthetic analysis. That is the synthesis in the backward direction. So you have to form the synthons. Synthons are nothing but the imaginary fragments. All right, but that should be realized in the synthesis part. Now again with the observation, I have the COCH3, I have methoxy group, and this is a phenyl ring. All right, now here from where I now applying the disconnection approach, what are the things to be remembered? That where do you disconnect the fragments? Okay, now I can see that if I there are two functional groups, so you have to disconnect if we want to disconnect these two functional groups. So what are the disconnection approaches over here? Now here I can see that this is a first disconnection, or this is a first disconnection, and this is a, you can see that the disconnection between carbon and oxygen, disconnection between these two carbon from the aromatic ring and the carbon from the carbonyl compound. And the third disconnection, I can see that the disconnection with from this carbon to this carbon. All right, so I just put some numbering over here so that we can see which disconnection is actual a reliable disconnection, and that will give you a good synthons or reliable fragments. All right, now I can name it as a approach number 1. This is your approach number 2, and this is your approach number 3. Now let us see the approach number 1, which shows you that CC disconnection means the disconnection between CH3 and the carbon of carbonyl group. All right. And in the second approach, you can see that the carbon from the aromatic ring and the oxygen of the methoxy group. And the third disconnection is the CC, means carbon from aromatic ring and the carbon of the carbonyl group. So 2 CC and 1 CO disconnection. So which one is the actual disconnection or the reliable disconnection? Let us see. Now when we let us focus on the first disconnection. Here you can see that this will be your, let us try to find out what are the disconnections. When we focus the first disconnection here, methoxy will remain as it is, and as we know that this carbon is always electron deficient, so positive charge will stay over here and the CH3 will have a negative charge. So this is a methide group. And when we see the synthons, so here these synthons are not very reliable synthons. They are not very reliable synthons. So we can obtain better synthons if we have a another approach which is available to you. So let us try the another approach. Now in this approach, I can say that now in the second approach, what we observe that in the second approach here, when we consider the CO disconnection, so oxygen is more electronegative than the carbon. So negative charge will stay at the oxygen and the positive charge will stay at the carbon. So when we put a cut over here or we disconnect this molecule or we disconnect this fragment, the positive charge will develop on the aromatic ring, which is not a really good intermediate, because putting a positive charge on the aromatic ring is a highly unstable intermediate. All right. So in such cases, this disconnection is not at all a favorable disconnection. Now there is a competition between 1 and 3. Now let us see if we are able to obtain better synthons as compared to approach 1. So we'll select the second one. Now let us see the third disconnection approach. Here I am getting the this is a methoxy group, and the negative charge will stay because as we know that this carbon is always electron deficient, so positive charge will always at the carbon of carbonyl group. So this is something obtained over here. Now in this case, what are the synthetic equivalents? I am getting over here the synthetic equivalents. Methoxy group, and I can put hydrogen over here. At the same time, I can neutralize this positive carbocation with Cl. Now these are the very good synthons, and the the synthetic equivalents I obtained, they are also readily available, and both the synthetic equivalents, they are easily available and they are highly reactive also. It is a really difficult task in the laboratory. So these are the good synthons obtained. So these are the good synthons. So approach 3 is really a good approach where we can obtain good synthons, and good synthons are giving you the good synthetic equivalents. Now here the third approach is favorable over here. So path 3 is favorable path. Path 3 is a favorable path. Now once again I am going to explain this analysis part. So this is a target molecule where the 4-methoxyacetophenone, I have read the molecule. I can see there are two functional groups and the one aromatic ring. One is the COCH3 and the methoxy group and the phenyl ring. Now, when we carry out the retrosynthesis, there are two parts. One part is the analysis and the another part is the synthesis. Now, in the analysis part, again, we have a disconnection approach and the functional group interconversion. Here, in the first case, this approach is a disconnection approach where I have tried three different pathways. In the first pathway, I have obtained not very good synthons. In the second pathway, again, a totally unreliable synthons are obtained. So I have discarded the second approach or second path. Then the third path I have opted over here, and I am getting very good synthons with the good synthetic equivalents. Such reactions can be easily carried out in the laboratory. Now one thing over here that now let us focus on the here we have finished the disconnection approach. Now what about the functional group? The second approach, that is a functional group interconversion, FGI. Whether I should apply this approach or whether it is necessary or is it really required for the to simplify the molecule. In some cases we can say that if you want to apply FGI, so I can take this molecule and you can make it, or you can simplify this molecule by, but this molecule is easily available in the market. And so if you want to put the FGI, so here you can convert this as a phenol. And what are the reagents we really need over here? That is a CH3, the methyl iodide in the potassium iodide, or another reagent. This reagent can be used for the methylation, or so this is the another reagent you can use for the methylation. But if you don't apply FGI, it can be okay with this, because this molecule can be easily obtained, or this is easily available, readily available in the market, commercially it is available. So directly you can consider this as a starting material. But if you want to apply FGI, then you can convert this methoxy group into the phenol. All right. So though we have applied the FGI, so we can consider this as a starting material. This is as a starting material. Now, dear students, the first part is over. That is the analysis part, which have two approaches we have seen over here. The first approach is a disconnection approach and the second approach is the FGI. Now let us carry out the second part of the retrosynthetic analysis, and that is the synthesis of the target molecule. Now I am moving towards the synthesis. As we know that this synthesis, whatever we have done, whatever planning we have done over here in our mind on the paper, that is verified or cross-checked in the synthesis part. All right. So whatever the planning that in the reverse direction we have drawn the starting material, whether those starting material are really good starting materials, or whether they are in a the reactions are real, that everything is cross-checked in the synthesis part. Now let us start the synthesis of the 4-methoxy acetophenone. Now here I have already applied FGI, so I prefer this phenol as a starting material, so I am using phenol as a starting material. So phenol as a starting material. So here, as I told you, that you can use methyl iodide, or in the presence of potassium iodide, or you can also use dimethyl sulfate as a methylating agent. So you can see that this OH is now methylated, or you can see that the methyl group is introduced over here. All right. Then what is required over here is so which is the second fragment we obtained, that this we can use as your acylating agent. So this is another reagent you can use for the acylation. So I am using the acetyl chloride. Now, as we know that this is a Friedel-Crafts reaction, so the Lewis acid we are using, that is a anhydrous aluminum chloride. This is a very important thing. If you are using if some amount of moisture is absorbed by the aluminum chloride, the reaction will not give you a desired product. So this condition is very important, that is the anhydrous aluminum chloride. So I am using Lewis acid, that is a catalyst, and this reaction is a Friedel-Crafts reaction. This is a Friedel-Crafts reaction, or I am so we are putting acyl group, so the reaction is Friedel-Crafts acylation. Now let us see the now let us compare that whether our the planning is really a good planning or something is failed over here. Now here, what are the synthons obtained? Well, we have used those synthons and the synthetic equivalents in our synthesis part, and we have achieved the target material. So this is a target material. So this is a target molecule we obtained by the synthesis. Now let us start the Friedel-Crafts alkylation. This is a target molecule I have mentioned over here, that is the 2,5 tertiary dibutyl 4 hydroxytoluene. This is also called as BHT, and BHT, the use of BHT is it is an antioxidant used in a food. So this is a very important molecule. This is used as an antioxidant in a food. Now let us carry out the retrosynthesis of the BHT, or 2,5 tertiary dibutyl 4 hydroxytoluene. Now again, remember one thing, whenever we carry out any retrosynthesis, the first thing is we have to observe the target molecule, TM, or read the molecule. Now what are the observations? The observations are, now here you can see that there are two that is butyl group. There are two tertiary butyl groups. Another observation is you have OH group. Third observation is you have a toluene is easily available, so we can say that the the third moiety is a toluene. So these three fragments which constitute your target molecule. That is the two fragments of tertiary butyl, one OH and the toluene. Now let us carry out the retrosynthesis of the BHT or 2,5 tertiary dibutyl 4-hydroxytoluene. Again, I must remind you that whenever you have a retrosynthesis, we have two parts. One part is the analysis part, one part is the analysis, and the second part is the synthesis. All right. Now let us see the analysis. Again, the analysis part is divided into two approaches. One approach. Now, dear students, whether you are going to apply FGI or not, but please remember that, always remember that in the analysis, there are two approaches. First approach is a disconnection approach. First approach is a disconnection approach. And the second approach is a FGI, that is a functional group interconversion. If there is a need, we can apply FGI. If there is no need, so don't go for FGI. Now let us try the first approach, that is the disconnection approach. Again, I am going to draw the structure of BHT. The structure is, there are two tertiary butyl groups, one hydroxy group, and this is of course a toluene CH3. Now let us apply a retrosynthetic analysis. The reverse direction, what are the synthons, and how we can disconnect the molecule in the various way. Now let us see the, you can see that there are two tertiary butyl and they are chemically equivalent. So this disconnection I consider as one part of the disconnection. Then the second disconnection, I can see that OH. So this carbon and this OH, this is your second disconnection, and this will be your third disconnection. Now let us see one by one. Now when you see that 4-hydroxytoluene is easily available, readily available in the market, so we don't need to disconnect or remove these two functional groups over here. So what is important thing is, let us disconnect these two fragments from this molecule. Now tertiary butyl, let us now let us one by one, let us carry out the disconnection. So first we try this disconnection, or you can directly apply the two successive disconnection, which will give you synthons. So here I have disconnected this molecule or this fragment, and here I am getting this negative charge on the aromatic ring, and the so this will be a positively charged. So how many carbon atoms are there? There are 4 carbon atoms, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now let us have the synthons. These are the synthons, and we'll have a synthetic equivalents. Now these are the synthetic equivalents. Now there is an important thing I am going to tell you. Whenever there is a negatively charged aromatic ring, just add hydrogen and make it a hydrocarbon. And if there is a positively charged carbocation, just add Cl, which will give you the halides. All right, so I am going to prepare the halide. So this will be a Cl. So these are the very good synthons. Now again I am going to disconnect this one, this, and again this will be your another synthon which is obtained over here, and CH3. Again this is a second carbocation. So let me show you the synthetic equivalents obtained in this case is a 4-hydroxytoluene and the another molecule of the halide. All right. Now the molecule, this is a starting material, you can say. This is a starting material, and this starting material is easily available. All right. Now let us going to have the second part of the retrosynthetic analysis, and that is nothing but the synthesis. Now as we know that the starting material here, it is already commercially available, so we are not going to make it more and more simpler. This is already a simpler one. All right, so I am using the same starting material which is obtained by disconnection approach. So there is no need to apply FGI. Now whenever there is a need or the disconnection approach fails, we are going to apply FGI. But here in this case, I am not going to apply FGI because I have obtained a good starting material, and that starting material is commercially available, readily available, cheap, etc. etc. Now let us start the synthesis. Now in the synthesis part, here we will come to know that the strategy I have designed, I have planned in the retrosynthetic analysis is in the right direction or not, that is verified in the synthesis part. So here I can start the synthesis of the target material, and I am using the starting material which is I have obtained in the retrosynthetic analysis by applying the disconnection approach. Now here I am directly using the two equivalents of this alkylating agent. What is this? This is a butyl chloride. This is a butyl chloride. So this is a alkylating agent I am using. Now when I am using this alkylating agent, I know that I have to apply some catalyst, that is a Lewis acid. So here I am using anhydrous aluminum chloride, and this is a Friedel-Crafts alkylation. So this is a very good alkylating agent also. Now I am going to substitute the now all Friedel-Crafts alkylation and acylation. The reaction is aromatic electrophilic substitution reaction. So the mechanism part, you can in your MSc part 1 you have already done the mechanism of Friedel-Crafts reaction, that is a aromatic substitution reaction. So this is your target molecule obtained after alkylation. So what type of reaction is this? This is nothing but the aromatic, or this is also called as EAS, or you can say that this is a electrophilic aromatic substitution reaction. Now as we know that all the aromatic substitution electrophilic substitution, so aromatic ring which favors the electrophilic substitution reactions, we know that. So what type of reagents are required or which reagents we have to use over here in this reaction, that we must know. and I will explain which reagents are really required or necessary for the retrosynthetic analysis of uh, electrophilic aromatic substitution reaction. So here is an aromatic electrophilic substitution reaction where we can use electrophile, that is a 1 carbon electrophile for the aromatic synthesis. Now here this is a substrate and this is an electrophile. Let us see uh, the X reagent and the name of reaction. Now here we have used the standard and this H is replaced by X. X is nothing but the electrophile. This is a electrophile, or you can say that this is a electrophile. And this X is which electrophile? That is a 1 carbon electrophile. Now here if I just wanted to put the CH2Cl, now here what reagent? This is a formyl group in the presence of zinc chloride. So this is also called as a chloromethylation when X is CH2Cl. And what reagent we are using? This is a formaldehyde, HCl and zinc chloride. So this reaction is called as chloromethylation. Alright, so here this X is suppose replaced by, that is a CH2Cl. The reaction is called as chloromethylation. And what reagents we are using? We are using formaldehyde, HCl and zinc chloride. Then the second, if this is replaced by CHO, if H is replaced by CHO, again this reaction is also called as a formylation. So Rimmer-Timmer reaction is the best reaction for the formylation. So this has been done in the presence of chloroform and the base, very strong base. Another method is the Willsmer-Hack formylation. Here we are using a dimethyl formamide and the POCl3, where you will get the formation of imines. This is an imine salt, and then you will important reaction for the formylation over here, that is a Rimmer-Timmer reaction and the Willsmer-Hack formylation. Now here again the second substrate is where this is also a aromatic electrophilic substitution reaction. Now here we can see that one is synthon. If R is obtained, now the another aspect, if R plus is obtained, this is a electrophile. So how you can neutralize the synthons or which reagent creates this particular synthon, because this reagent part is has been used in the synthesis second part of the retrosynthetic analysis. Alright, so whatever starting materials or the reagents which are generated in the retrosynthesis disconnection approach, in the imaginary approach, those reagents are used in the synthesis. So we must know that which reagents we have to use for, as a source of synthons or the source of electrophiles or the source of nucleophiles if nucleophilic substitution is there. Now here if R plus is a or this is called as a alkyl the cation, and here what reagent you can use? You can use RBR in the presence of Lewis acid, that is a aluminum chloride, and just now we have explained the reaction. This is nothing but the Friedel-Crafts alkylation. Alright, so another way you can terminate the synthon, that is just adding OH in the presence of acid hydrolysis, or you can form alkenes in the presence of acid hydrolysis. Alright, so this is one way you can terminate your synthons and you can form the synthetic equivalents. So these reagents are nothing but the synthetic equivalents. They are all the synthetic equivalents. These are the synthetic equivalents. Alright, now let us see the another synthon, which is a carbo. This is again RCO plus. Again, it has to be, of course, this positive charge is on carbon and not on the oxygen. Again, this is second reaction which we have already seen, that is the Friedel-Crafts acylation, and this is a synthetic equivalent we can obtain, that is acyl chloride and the anhydrous aluminum chloride. This is a Friedel-Crafts acylation. Now this is another electrophile, this that is a nitronium ion. So nitronium ion can be generated by the uh, fuming nitrating mixture. This is called as a fuming nitrating mixture, that is the nitric acid and the concentrated sulfuric acid. So this the reaction is called as a nitration. Now here if you want to put the Cl over here, that is an electrophilic substitution reaction. Now again here we have to take the Cl2 and the FeCl3, that is again a Lewis acid. The reaction is called as chlorination. Now dear students, please remember all these reagents are nothing but the synthetic equivalents and that are utilized in the synthesis of electrophilic substitution reaction for the respective reactions. Now here the bromonium ion, the reagent is bromine in acetic acid. The reaction is called as bromination. And here the this is a for the sulfonation. Here you have to use this this electrophile is generated from the sulfuric acid. The reaction is called as a sulfonation. All right. Likewise, you have the respective chlorosulfonation and the diazo coupling. In this way, you can, all these are the synthetic equivalents. All these are the synthetic equivalents. And the reactions we have adding, if the negatively charged hydrocarbons are there, just put H plus ion and make it hydrocarbon, or another way, if you have a carbocation, just add the chlorides or bromides and iodides, etc., etc. You can make it a halide.